Hello, my name is Brian Gill, and this is my peer critique video. I want to start with the Yaz Cuisine, and overall I like the site. I think they could have a little bit more styling, a little bit more formatting. For example, the welcome at that size, the font just seems a little messy, a little hard to read. I think there could be a little bit more indentation here other than the two picks, and a little bit better formatting with the pictures as well. It seems that the float was what kind of threw it off, and by removing it, you can see that they actually go back to being centered. They have a little bit of space in between, and the pictures are more evenly distributed on the page. Also, by just going through the code a little bit, I added some padding over here, and it seemed to balance out a little bit better, better defined. Um, with the events page, I felt the same thing as far as a little bit of padding, margin in between would help space things out, give it a little bit more structure rather than just everything kind of run together. I like the colors and I like the big solid bars that they are. They definitely serve as a divider to let you know which I guess workshop or event is being displayed. I did go through that and I added just a little bit of code down here, excuse me, and put some padding in on either side of the images, and it spaced things out a little bit better. Made it look a little bit more finished, and I'm not exactly sure what stage the site is in, but there's, as long as, I mean, even after in post-production, something like this could be done with just a very minimal effort. Going into the contact form, the formatting and styling doesn't really seem to be taking effect very well. So one of the things that I thought that, or one of the things that I use that really helps me identify different objects is when I go into the developer tools and I hit the 3D button, and now it kind of zooms out on the page a little bit, but it gives you the ability to really see which pieces are which, and you can click on them to figure out where they are going. You can really turn the page to get a good look at it. You can zoom in, and once you get the highlighted piece up here, you can always look down at the bottom to find out what's being highlighted. There were some other things with this as far as these characters coming through. They seem to be a single quote, and by just a quick look up of it, it seems that that could be replaced in the code if that was the character that you're actually going for. But overall, I do like the site. I think it's got great use of color, and it's you know, just a little bit more styling menu-wise and a couple of the elements throughout the pages. It could be a great site. Moving on, the radio communications management. I really had to dig deep with this one. I really didn't see much that I would change. It's got great use of color, bright colors. I would like to see a different background, something a little bit more muted. And then I also noticed that the horizontal lines were just slightly off. And that's, you know, again, something that, like I said, I really had to dig deep on this because I really couldn't find much that I would change with it. The only other thing that I really noticed was the sizing, and it looks like the city, state, and zip code are equally spaced, but they could probably be spaced just, you know, given a little bit more width to help fill out that extra little gap right there to make it line up. You know, it is really difficult to see since there is no or actually I guess there is, but it's very, very, very difficult to see the actual end line, the edge of it here. Uh, I really like this site. I think it's probably one of the better ones that I've seen out of the ones that I have seen. So that said, let's move on to the next one. This one, I like it. There's there's some 3D look and feel with some drop shadowing. Um, the the background I think could be maybe an image or a texture or something just to add a little bit more depth. Probably a little bit of padding in, um, maybe a different font applied to the heading, and again some spacing over here would be nice. Gallery, probably do a little bit. Get these either move this one back so it all lines up, and then also put a little bit of spacing in up here so it doesn't look like the pictures are kind of dangling from the gray bars. A little bit of spacing down at the bottom as well to help define a little bit better. Overall, I think it's a really good site, and um, there's really not a whole lot with this one either. I think if these were going to be indented, I like the look of it because it's definitely shows that it's under the heading here, but it would need to be cleaned up and adjusted over here on this side, which could be done with setting for the page more than likely. Um, Again, this one, this is all the same thing. These are things that could be applied in the site coding areas instead of the page coding areas, because it looks like I would think that these are all going to be a paragraph tag, and they're just indented a little bit and it causes it to shift over, and that's something that could be applied to each page. Um, with the contact form, again, there's could be a little bit more formatting going on, and I'm not, the text box, I can't imagine that it would need to be this wide. It's nice that it shows that there's a lot of area, but with today and the smaller device screens, I think something like this would maybe not scale all the way, although it looks like it does, so that's decent. But if the field's going to be this wide, probably wouldn't want to adjust the other ones as well and give them some right or left justification on there. And that is about all I've got. Out of all the sites that I've seen this month, I think everyone's done a great job. It's been very interesting to see the progress from going from the beginning in week one and what we were capable of then, and all the way up to now and what we're capable of now. So wish everyone luck, and hope to see you again in a future class.